So good morning, students. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. So 95, 78 people are there. So let's start with the session. Probably like waiting for others is going to be spoiling our time too. Okay. So can anyone give the recap of where we stopped in the previous class? I don't want the same people. Kindly bear with me. I want a new, any new or new person to give a small recap. Just tell me the topics. That is fine.
Ma'am, we talk about nature and importance of motivation, and then type of motivation, like
Okay.
intrinsic motivation, extrinsic motivation,
Yeah.
and then we discuss two theories like Maslow's need hierarchy theory and Hertzberg two-factor theory, and then we move to method of motivation of employees, motivating employees.
Okay. So yes, we have covered motivation, and next we have started with the topic called safety, regarding the organizational safety, like how an organization of the construction industry should provide all the level of safety measures to an employee, from the top level to the bottom level. Like we are covering regarding that. So let me screen share my content. Okay. So in the previous class, uh, kindly I want all of you to stay muted. If I'm running out of network issues, kindly you can stop me there and let me know. And regarding the doubts, we'll have a doubt clarification at the end of the session. Okay. So we saw this process. So after this flow chart regarding your safety measures that is being carried out in an organization, next we'll be moving later to the safety information. We'll take a pen. So, safety information. So, as the organization also possesses a major responsibility that they should inform all the level of employees regarding the measures of safety that is being into practice by their particular organization. What are the needs and the immediate actions to be taken by the particular employees whenever any unexpected accident or unfortunate incidents are taking places? They should immediately react to it and start working to take care of the people as well as to rectify the issue at the earliest. Communication plays an important role in the industrial safety management. The reports are generated for onward transmission so that the managerial action are taken to create safety awareness and liquidation of unsafe points. So once an accident has taken place, you will be analyzing like what is the cause of that accident. Probably that may be a man-made mistake, or there may be any faults in your equipment, or if that particular location is unsafe. So that all those causes should be identified. Like once it is identified, that will be informed to all the employees, and necessary actions will be taken to rectify that issue. Details of accidents are sent in this injury on works format, which contains nature of industry, causes, data, and time of the accident, exact location. So that also will be marked. Probably you have your work site like this, probably a square type pattern. This may be your plot where you are doing a construction. This area may be the place where the accident has taken place. So probably that area will be identified, and the time, date, and the particular people who were there and the equipments nearby that location. Although all those information, the data will be collected, and that will be registered. Where the accident took place with the other details. So is there going to be any other different types of miscellaneous actions taking place over that location? That also will be identified and recorded. This format is submitted by the department after the signature of the officer concerned. So, investigation and personal form. This the accident is investigated by the team members of the section. We already have a safety team. So, like once something happened, you have to like give the first aid to them, and further they will be having an investigation team where they'll be coming and inspecting like what is the particular issue happened and what was the reason for that accident. So that they will be identifying. It will be investigated by the team members of the section in charge of the safety, and the facts are found of which it will help in the collection of input information. like you may ask, what are we going to gain by, like, the accident has taken place, and what are we going to gain by collecting all those information? Probably after collecting all those information, you'll be able to analyze what is the exact thing happened there and what may be the particular reason for that happening. That may be a man-made error, or maybe a very old equipment or machinery that is being into practice, or an unskilled labor operating heavy-duty equipment. So this may be one of the few of the examples. So, like, once after collecting this information, if in the future or in the near years, upcoming years, if there is going to be any accident taking place, immediately they'll be having your safety records, where they'll be able to open and check like what has happened and how they should take the necessary steps that they'll be referring. So the data and information you're collecting today in your register, it's going to be the literature for the next upcoming projects. Next is first information report. You can literally, like, you will be familiar with the term called FIR. First information report. The road accident caused outside the plant are reported to the safety engineering department or the authorized representative of the particular department within the 24 hours. If it is going to be a minor injury, that will be that may be reported later also. But if it is going to be a middle, moderate to high level type of injury, that time it should be like reported immediately to the higher officials. The information is sent to personal department. Investigations are carried out by the member of safety engineering department and the personal department. Next is injury extension certificate. Inspection reports. So this report is submitted by the safety personnel after inspection of different shops or areas and identifying about the safety status of that particular area. And approaches to improve safety. Can you give any few approaches that will tend to enhance the safety that is already taking place in your organization? Few examples. You think of your own. You can give your idea, whatever that may be. That may be right or not, but your answers are always welcome. Any ideas to improve safety in the construction sector? Any new idea? You think you take your time, think anything, and you can tell me. Yes,
Ma'am, strict policies.
strict policies. Yes, following strict policies. That is not in practice, right? But that would be good if people are following very strict policies. Yes, very good. Next.
No, ma'am, like policy of the company towards safety should be strict.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling. Yeah, yeah. Yes. Any other thing? Any other ideas? They're already working in a team or in an organization. They're already following some set of regulations or safety measures. But what will you suggest? Some ideas or methods that will enhance the safety measures in the prevailing organization. Yes.
Organizing lectures for people who have affected by accidents.
Can you repeat it?
Organizing lectures in the construction firm by those people who have already affected by not following the safety principles.
Good, good. Probably the person who have met with an accident or something bad has happened to them due to the improper safety measures that that particular employee has followed. Yes, he can conduct some lectures regarding that so that they'll be aware. Like people working there will be aware. They'll be expecting not to do that same mistake. Good. Any other ideas? Any other ideas? Whatever you think, you can share it. That's not a problem. Okay, so let's move on with the approaches to improve safety. I'm asking for you people to tell, only one or two will tell, the others will not answer. Here and after, I'm going to call you by roll number wise. If you're answering, you will be given points. If you're not answering, you will be put, your marks will be going into negative. Like once I should start myself being strict, only then you people will like interact in the class. Okay. So approaches to improve safety is recognizing the importance of safety performance. A contractor can approach the problem in four different ways. Probably it's like the employee should first immensely understand what is the actual need for safety. Like there may be organizations frequently conducting safety programs or training programs, or the fire safety department people will be there, persons will be there, they'll be coming and conducting frequent lectures regarding how to put off fire, and if there's going to be any immediate fire, in which way we should escape, and how we should protect ourselves. Though so many knowledge or the ideas are being showered to the people, but if the people are not aware or if they are not ready to accept it, that time only forced method of safety should be implemented, where the organization is like they haven't put into any other source, they have to strictly implement the safety measures. So it is going to be four different methods: organizational approach, physical approach, behavioral approach, and economic incentives. When it's going to be organizational approach, a safety program cannot be successful without an appropriate organizational setup. Yes, I'm getting some noise. Kindly mute yourself. Okay. A company safety program should be a part of the contractor's business, just as scheduling and cost accounting. So, in any particular business, that you will be having a particular team called planning team, where they'll be scheduling the list of activities, and they'll be cost accounting, that they'll be calculating at which type of schedule. Probably when you're doing your foundation level or your earthwork operations are going on, that time how much amount you need, they'll be calculating like approximately how much amount you require for that particular activity. That alone is not your particular project. Literally they should conduct some or very appropriate organizational setup, or as I told, it is going to be a strict organizational implementations of safety measures. Next, the safety department. A formal safety department is essential in any company. This department should be in charge of the safety and the job site representatives regarding and analyzing safety and other accident prevention programs. Again, we have a committee, that is the safety committee, where you have the persons there, you have your safety engineer or a safety manager, they'll be frequently regulating and they'll be monitoring whether people are working in a safe manner, whether they are following all the regulations. A safety committee should be set up to guide the operation of the safety programs. The members of the committee should include all levels of workers and managements to reflect opinions on safety from all levels. It should review the company's safety program periodically. That's true. Like monitoring everything periodical is very fine, right? Probably like as I told you, like as we were discussing in the previous class, it would be good if they monitor like the weekly number of accidents took place in a particular week or in a particular month. So similarly, like they'll be plotting that it is going to be months. So months versus accidents took place. So probably it may be varying, but only then you can identify how many number of accidents has taken place in a particular month. From you can also, when you're into deep into that subject, you can also analyze from which department it has taken place, or maybe that may be what type of reason for that. That also you can like analyze from that. Field procedures. A system must be designed to process safety suggestions from the workers, the people who carry out the daily construction process, since they are in the best position to detect any possible accidents, because they are only most open to all type of accidents, because they are in their construction site. They were working, they are carrying a huge amount of materials. Probably though your crane lifts and places the particular floor, you need the manpower. Like probably you will be having, imagine this is going to be your floor area of one particular level. Your crane, you have the crane here, it has dropped all your materials over this particular area. So from here, you need to carry to the other end or the diagonal position or anywhere from that floor. So you need manpower to work. Like that may be like carrying of heavy materials or whatever, like by the means of transporting or placing. There may be like they are open to more number of accidents taken place. So they should be properly diagnosed, and they are also open to give suggestions, like they'll be identifying and telling, "Okay, this is the reason why frequent accidents are taking place." So they'll be letting the immediate officials know, so that they should consider the point and put it in the safety committee, so that that proper problem will be identified, and in near future that will not happen. They should be reminded and encouraged to bring out any unsafe procedure detected in their daily routine. That's true, that also should be identified. And you have the site safeties. You have so much of handboards or your hangouts that will be given in the your notice boards, or then and there that will be stuck into your buildings. So that type of notice or the cautionary images or the displays that will be helping you to like frequently remind you. That's just a reminder, right? Probably you'll be very in a hurry. You didn't put your helmet that day. Like whenever you see the helmet, what you'll be reminding, oh my god, I didn't put my helmet. You'll run to carry your helmet. So this is what this is just a reminder boards and incentives. So if any team is working very properly, where they are following all the safety measures, that time that team should be appreciated in front of others, and they will be provided with more incentives, or either increase in salary hikes, or they'll be given promotions. So they will be given any rewards. Like once any team is getting rewarded, the other people will be thinking, okay, they are working good, they're working in the safest manner. So that they also will try to, at least by the aim of getting the incentives or for the salary hikes or for the promotions itself, they'll be interested to work in the follow the safety measures, and they'll be working in a safe manner. Field management and supervisors should be evaluated for promotions and salary increases in terms of safety record as well as productivity and cost. Next is safety cost. The cost of accounting system should be adjusted to encourage safety by allocating safety cost to company account and allocating accident cost to project accounts. So you have safety accounts that they're going to register in the company accounts, and allocating accidents that they will be putting in the project accounts. And physical approach. In physical aspects, so what is meant by physical approach? These are what is organizational approach, where an entire organization takes care or takes the measures, regulations, policies that will be falling under the head of organizational approach. What will be physical approach? Every individual, as an employee, as probably any type of laborers, they should follow strict level of safe measures, wearing their helmets, gloves, safety hats, or probably their glasses. So this all are going to put them into a safe environment. In physical aspects, a contractor can improve safety performance using the following guidelines. New workers should be given a safety orientation program. Like when they are new, probably they may be one or two officials only, they'll be new, or employees will be new. They also should be undergoing a safety orientation program. Only then they'll be able to work in a safe manner. For every project, the contractor must study in advance the possible accidents for the proposed construction methods, procedure, and equipment. Like that's true. Like you already have some list of accidents that has taken place in the organization. So that will help you to possibly identify, if you place this equipment here, there may be some possible type of accidents taking place. So it is better to place it outside the area. So literally, like frequent servicing, or if it's going to be any replacement of particular spare parts in an equipment or machinery, so that should be done frequently, frequent servicing. And all those things are one of the few different methods of cautionary actions that you're taking in the need to prevent any accidents. So those are the things, like advance the possible accidents. You are identifying like what all will be the possible accidents, and you're going to rectify that. Then an accident prevention plan should be devised to take care of those accidents. The contractor should enforce the use of approved equipment for personal protection, such as we told, our extra fittings to oneself. nothing but goggles, gloves, glasses, your safety belts, or their hard hats. The contractor should integrate safety programs with other programs as scheduling, budgeting. So, a safety program also should be allocated some fund so that that fund is for if any accidents takes place, that should be given under the project account. If some team is performing well, following implementing all the safety measures, like the entire team didn't face any accidents for the frequent set of years, the past years, so they will be awarded. So that for that also the organization should allocate some budget. This will help to identify possible accidents inherent in the work to be done, to suggest remedial training if necessary, to assure proper tools and equipments. So it is not only this, also the contractor should make sure that they are providing proper tools and equipments for the labor's availability. Like if they are there to work, they should be provided with the proper tools and equipments. Only then they'll be able to work in a safe manner, and to verify the method they have selected and safe are according to their requirements. So periodic checking of tools and equipments, that is a major thing that the contractor should take care. Conduct periodic safety meetings. As I told, like few organizations are following 5 minute safety meetings, where every day they'll be instructed to do what are the things they should do for maintaining safe in their environment. So all those things they should frequently do. Only then they'll be, if there is any accident taking place, immediately they'll be able to know like what they should do. Seek and obtain full cooperation from all the subcontractors on the project. The next is going to be our behavioral approach. So studies conducted disclose that more than 80% of all the accidents result from the workers' unsafe acts, while only 10% result from failure of equipments or improper procedure. Also, there are few accidents like probably in your work site there may be some equipment, or you might have you have diesels or the petrols to run your your equipments. When you have that, or when your machinery is full with your fuel, that time what will happen if an employee he's not aware of that, or he may be taking his break time or some other like having his a cigarette or something. If he just puts on, if he just throws it out without properly putting off the fire, what will happen? There will be an unexpected accident over there. So all those things, that this all falls under the improper procedure that the particular individual is following. Behavior is nothing but every individual how they are going to behave in the particular organization, maintaining safety. That is what is called as behavioral approach. So they should be always cautioned. They may think one time he'll not be aware that he's showing this. Kindly mute yourself. Okay. So probably one time he may just put off. The other time, he may be having enjoying his break. That time, if his supervisor someone calls, if he, what will happen if he just throw somewhere and go? It is going to be in this sand or somewhere else. That is fine. But what will happen if it goes and falls in some other equipments or machineries? That is not safe. So the individual should be following the behavioral disciplines that to maintain the safety in that environment. Apparently, this is the most potential for improving safety performance. Also, the behavior of managers on every level has significantly influence on workers' safety performance. So, working drug-free works, that is the major thing, like where the workers can stick on to it without having any drugs or their drugs or any type of bad habits following during their work operations. And construction fall protection, that also, like whenever you have your wall cleaning or your wall painting or you're fixing of your probably your windows, that time definitely you need some wall protections, that you'll be having, like every employee they should be like provided with the proper belts, safety belts, that should be in the proper support. Only then they'll be able to go beyond. Like what happens if this rope just cuts down, he'll fall down and actually he'll not be no more, like he'll be no more. So that is also a trouble for that particular organization. So like when one is ready to go for that type of operations, they should make sure like everything is under proper performance, and only then they should go start working on it. So the following guidelines will be found useful. The top management, while visiting job sites or meeting in the main office, should talk about the safety in the same manner as they talk about the schedules and costs. That's true. Not only always giving priority to your work, like to your work schedules or the deadlines which you need to meet or the turnover which you need to make. It is also equally important to talk about safety. This will make the subordinates understand that safety is as important as cost and schedules, so that the importance of safety will not be ignored. The project manager and the superintendent should not place unnecessary pressure on a foreman, such as emphasis on meeting a estimated budget and schedule. As I told you, like we have the deadline till 28th February, we need to put it hard and work it tonight. If you put so much of stress over them, like they'll be like working very fast without producing some proper quality. So what we need is quality. Based upon the quality, only our safety is depending. Usually, this will make foremen choose unacceptable methods that often lead to higher possibility of accidents. Craft foremen are the key persons in the behavioral approach as to better safety because they are the key persons who have daily contact with the workers. They are also the person in the best position to detect the workers' abnormal behavior. So we have our supervisors. If there is a team of 20 or 30 people working, some masons or laborers are working, you have a site supervisor. Probably the site supervisor like monitor the other laborers for some 6 months or so. They'll be able to identify like who will perform better and who will be following some unethical manner or who will just will not obey the rules and regulations. They'll be able to track them. The foreman, along with the project manager and the superintendent, should try to create and maintain good relationship between members of the group crafts. If workers have pleasant relationship with each other, they tend to become more concerned about their co-worker safety. That's true. Like what will happen? Like if it is going to be team of laborers working for a particular long span of time, they'll be into good relationship, and if something happens, they'll be wanting that hey, take care. There's something in the something as a disturbance or something is injuring. Like you can take your proper steps so that you will not meet any accidents. They'll be warning you. They'll be taking care of the others. And next is the economic incentives. As I told, when you're performing well, they'll be providing with good incentives. Safety teams will be appreciated. Rewards will be provided. Owners as well as contractors should always bear in mind and take into proper consideration the economic benefits due to safety at the work site. If a complete estimate should be taken into account for the cost of the safety program as percentage of direct field labor cost, the estimate would result in some positive return for the amount spent on the safety program. The contractors should also reward workers. So rewarding the workers, that's true. Like you're working very sincerely in a safe manner. If you are not at all rewarded, or if your talent or your performance is not identified or recognized, will you be performing the same throughout the next 20 or 30 years? If unless someone is coming and appreciating you, only benefit you will be getting is your job satisfaction. Unless someone is coming and appreciating you, like you'll be feeling still encouraged and motivated, and you in that place will be acting as a role model for the co-workers, and they'll be also interested to like work, like follow the safety measures like you. This creates this creates perseverances on the part to learn more, know, practice, and strive towards a high level of safety at the job site. So you can take these two books for your reference related to your construction safety or the industrial safety management. So like I think these books will be doing good when you refer for your this, probably your second part of the second unit. And the next topic is nothing but your machineries, earthwork operations, so which you have already covered that part in your previous semester in your construction techniques and equipment. Do you remember that part? Yes? Do you remember? Oh, ma'am, we finished that subject, ma'am. Once the subject is done, that's all. We will not take it, ma'am. Is it so? Yes? I want any reply. Any yeses or no? Do you remember?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. A few examples of how they are monitoring the or how they are inspecting. Like everything has become Internet of Things today. So what they do is they'll be having so many set of questionnaires that will be feeded into the system. That may be either the supervisors will be monitoring. That will be they'll be trapping everything through their login ID and password. And all the construction industries are following ERPs today. They have their own software for that particular organization, where if the site supervisor puts a post, that can be immediately monitored by the CEO or the manager or the probably or managing directors. Any of them can monitor. So they are going to be set of like list checklist whether they have done it. One such examples are all of the scaffolds and work platforms erected, altered, and dismantled. Whether like they'll be checking the status, they'll be telling adequate at the time of inspection. So like you can list what are the possibilities of things that are leading into your accidents and safety measures regarding it. So each day they'll be updating whether proper care has been taken care of or not. So like once they are updating, it will be monitored by the entire team, or if they require any advancement or immediate actions to be taken, that time they can take a photo of that particular location or the particular structure or the particular employees working over there, and they can take a photo and they can drop it in their IDs, so that will be monitored by the higher officials and immediate actions will be taken. So I'm stopping the slide share here. So the next last part of this unit is going to be your machineries, earthwork machineries. So, if anyone of you are new to the subject, I think probably all of you know the subject. Yes? You want me to repeat those topics again?